Yesterday was my 20th birthday and I wore these pants. Now believe me, they were a lot less bloody when I put them on than when I took them off. Today I'm going to tell the story about how I smashed open my shin yesterday. But before we get started, I just want to say there are a lot of YouTubers out there that love to whine about their problems and just complain. This is not that. This is just an interesting thing that happened to me that I thought you'd appreciate hearing about. That being said, let's start from the beginning. So my day started off great. I had a solid breakfast, good lunch, finished all my classes, and I figured I'd head over to the skate park for a quick session. So I go to Tribeca Skate Park, which is one of my favorite skate parks. I always have a really good time there, and it's just consistently awesome. It's a solid skate park. So I get there, and my first trick of the day, I hit a frontside 360 up the Euro gap first try, and I'm like, yes, it's gonna be a great session. I'm feeling it. So I start skating, just a really casual session. Met a bunch of viewers there who watched my videos. It was awesome. I was having a really good time. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try a Smith grind on this ledge. This ledge, bear in mind, isn't that hard to skate. I've done a bunch of stuff on it. I've done this Smith grind before. It was just an easy thing. I wasn't even filming it because it really was just a mellow session doing stuff that I'm used to doing. The thing about Tribeca ledges is they're perfect ledges. They grind really well, but the issue is that they're sharp and they're metal. Now a lot of ledges, they actually round out a little bit at the corner, which makes them a little more dull right there, but Tribeca ledges are like a perfect 90-degree angle. I'm getting really close to the Smith grind on the bump to ledge. I almost had it, I suck at a few tries. So on this one attempt, I was going up, and I guess I was further away than I should have been. Normally you'd land on a Smith grind just like this, but I think I was further away this way, and I kicked out my board, and what should have been my feet ended up putting all of my body weight into my shins, both of my shins on the ledge. So immediately it hurt really, really bad. Super painful. The worst shinner I've ever had. And I thought, wow, this sucks. Give me 2 minutes, I'm gonna get a sip of water, and I'll be back to skating in no time. So I get a sip of water, then suddenly I look down at my legs, and my right leg is covered in blood. It had bled through my pants, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. And at first I thought, all right, well that's just really annoying, just a little cut, whatever. I roll up my pant leg to reveal this gash about this big in my right shin that was just gushing blood. And at this point I didn't really know what to do. The only other real injury I've had skateboarding is when I smashed my face. Link over here if you want to see a lot of blood. A couple of guys start to gather around me at the skate park, and I'm like, should I go to the hospital? And they're like, yes, you should definitely go to the hospital.
Nail on your head, man!
How bad is it?
Hospital! Hospital!
What I had done at the hospital was really nothing. I got 6 stitches, standard procedure, super easy. The worst part about the hospital though is just how much waiting there was. So I got there around 5:30 and I had probably about an hour of total time of work being done on me, but it took 4 hours. I wasn't out until 9:30 because it was just a bunch of waiting around for the doctor to come, for the nurses to come, whatever. I'm not complaining, it's just, it was a long time. And honestly, it makes sense. Like, I was just chilling there, playing Tiny Wings on my phone, responding to text messages, whereas like, other people in the hospital were in so much pain. Like all around me, you just hear all this yelling. There's really just one guy that was yelling. This guy broke his ankle and he was like screaming in agony for about 3 hours straight. Anyway, eventually the doctors come in and they're like, yes, we're gonna do an x-ray just to make sure, bone's fine. And then I got 6 stitches in my right shin.
God.
Was it kind of gratifying to pour it all out like that?
Sort of, but it kind of gets annoying.
The best part of the hospital though was as the nurses were about to sew me up, I asked them if they ever listen to music while they work. And they said, no, we don't, but I'd love to. So I turned on Enter the Wu-Tang, which is my favorite Wu-Tang Clan album. And it was just a very bizarre but comedic scene, listening to Wu-Tang as they were stitching up my leg. And this is a shot I took of it. The music stops playing when you record on your iPhone, but know that we did have a great time listening to ODB, Method Man, and all those guys. To wrap this up, moral of the story is, Wu-Tang Clan gets you through all of your problems. Anyway, I had a great rest of my day. I made it to my favorite Mexican restaurant, had a fat burrito with all my close friends, and all in all, it was a solid birthday, except for my 4-hour excursion to the hospital. I'll have these stitches out in 2 weeks, and I'll be skating back in better than ever, except I'll probably be a little bit worse than I am now, because I haven't skated in 2 weeks. Anyway, I'll be skating again, and things will be solid. So I'd be curious to know what you guys' worst skateboarding or just regular injury is, so leave a comment down below, and I look forward to reading some gruesome stories. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I'll see you eventually. I'm gonna go throw out these pants because their time is definitely past. I have worn these pants every day for the last 6 months or so.